is wonderful to be here at the prestigious Helium Comedy Club. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, very, very nice to be here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, this summer I went for the first time to the Oregon Renaissance Fair. Yes, I knew this was a crowd that appreciates history. Yes. Wonderful. I had a wonderful time at the Renaissance Fair. I saw many brave knights who normally work at Jiffy Lube. I saw many beautiful princesses of House Ketamine. But then I saw something strange. Yes, I saw a man in a full dog costume, and he was staring right at me, and he was going like this. He was like... I thought, is this Elizabethan? I turned to my friend to lambast this chode. And that's when I saw it. I saw a whole pack of them. There was an eagle. That's my eagle impression. Thank you very much. Be here for 8 more minutes. I also saw there was a wolf, there was a polar bear as well. Cool, I'm good on the animal impressions too. My friends, the point is, the furries have infiltrated the Oregon Renaissance Fair. Yes, yes. Now, wait, hang on. There's nothing wrong with being a furry. In fact, statistically speaking, there are at least 8 furries in here this evening. I'm guessing it's you two boys, by the way. You're sort of smirking and smiling there. Nope, not furries. Okay, cool. Moving over here. Where are the fucking furries? Not seeing them, that's fine. Going back to the middle. Yes, now. Statistically speaking. No, if you don't know what a furry is, it's a community of adults who choose new animal identities called fursonas. Which is true, and they buy expensive, tight-fitting animal costumes, and they go to fun events like this, and they party, and they have a great time. And then at the end of the night, they go to the Marriott Hotel. Yeah. Where they perform animalistic acts. Remember the, yeah. Yeah. I was practicing that in the mirror earlier. Pretty good polar bear sex act, I think. Now, there's nothing wrong with any of that, seriously. And in fact, if you've seen by the way I am dressed tonight, you would know I am a Marriott Gold Club member. When the moon hits your eye. Thank you very much. No, that's not my problem with the furries being at the Oregon Renaissance Fair. My problem, dear sirs and madams, is that it is not historically accurate to the Renaissance. King Henry V was not dressing up as a squirrel and going down to the medieval version of Marriott. He was fucking real horses. In broad daylight. Which is why when I went to the Oregon Renaissance Fair, I headed straight for the stables. To do some proper fucking reenactments. Unfortunately, there was only an owl there named Rodrigo. So I sat next to him and he hooed softly in my ear. And as I tongued his cloaca, gently, so as not to reveal my greed, but firmly enough to say, "Little owl, I am your protector." This thought occurred to me, my friends. The furries are the Israelis of the Oregon Renaissance Fair. Hold me now! Which brings us to our next subject, ladies and gentlemen. Israel.
Oh, now hang on there, Brett. Yeah, it's kind of a sensitive topic. I don't know if you're going to want to be talking about that at the big, the who.
Ladies and gentlemen, my inner voice is Joe Biden. Yes. Yes.
Listen, Buster, you got a liquor on the cloaky.
How you guys doing? You enjoying the... Cloaca is like where an owl both shits, pisses, and comes. I just want to... And I'm actually mispronouncing it. It's not cloaca, but, we're all just kind of having a good time, right? Just fucking hanging out. Love that shirt. Yeah, it's cool. It says Hurley on it. That's a good brand. Anyways, back to the story. Where was I at? Oh yeah, Joe Biden doing an impression telling me to lick an owl's cloaca. Let me get back to that.
Hey, you got a liquor on the cloaca.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden is my Yoda, my inner Buddha, which brings us now to the spiritual portion of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, are there any Buddhists here tonight? Well, there's one! They don't come to these things a lot. They're usually just like staring at the wall like, I feel good, I don't need to participate in contests or whatever. Fuck them. Anyways, I am a Buddhist also, but I have a good Buddhist right there, so sir, let us on the count of 3, me and you, we're gonna Om together. Are you ready for it? We're gonna show all these people what Zen Buddhism is all about. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Wow, you're doing a great job. Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan, Jamie, Joe Rogan. You guys know who Joe Rogan is? He's got this podcast. They talk about how they made the pyramids with chainsaws. It's freaking awesome. It's the craziest podcast, man. I'm like, wow, is that true? And they're like, we don't really know at the end. It's like, okay. Joe. Wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. That, of course, brings us to the musical portion of our evening. Yes, that is correct. Yes, thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I got this harmonica in a scoop of salt and straw ice cream. It was patchouli and harmonica flavored. White people love Jurassic Park, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for yourselves and your love of Jurassic Park. Folks, I've been smoking a lot of weed recently, it's true. Found this particular strain called Chernobyl OG Kush. I think weed names are getting a little too fancy. In the same store, they had something called 9/11 Yum Yum. When I was a young child, ladies and gentlemen, I had a dream. I had a dream that I wanted to be a blues man, Still kind of suck at it. And so that's why last weekend I ended up high at Guitar Center. I had smoked some of that Chernobyl OG, sinking of the RMS Titanic, Hindenburg, Pineapple, Maui Wowie, Boston Molasses Incident of 1918. OG Kush. And I saw the poster of B.B. King there, and I looked up at it, and I thought, God, it's so beautiful, I was all high and shit. But his voice, it came down to me from the heavens. I could hear it was the ghost of B.B. King. And this is what he said to me. He said, Brett, you can't be a blues man if you're from Lake Oswego. Ladies and gentlemen, please